Hi everyone, you're welcome to class. I think it's our fifth class. Am I correct? Yeah. And today we're going to continue with file permissions, and if time permits us, we'll also look into packages, into how to install packages on the Linux server. As usual, we have two distributions of Linux running, and we have SSH'd into both. One is a distro of Linux under the Red Hat package manager, which is Amazon Linux. This one here. Okay, while the second is Ubuntu, which is also uh, a distro of Linux under the Debian package manager. All right. So in our last class, we were talking about permissions, but we didn't complete that. And then I was telling us that there are four parts to file permissions. The first part tells us if it is a folder or a file. And how do you know that? If you do a detailed listing, or what we call a long list of a directory, okay, and you look at the picaded of a particular file, if you find a D, that tells you this is a folder, it is a directory. And if it does not have a D, it means it is a file. Okay. I remember I told us when we were learning how to create empty file, I advise us that you always use extensions. Okay, so that you're able to know if and what kind of file it is that you have opened, right? And then we talked about the remaining three parts of file permission. And then we said these next three parts are grouped into three bits. And if you look at the folder black, okay, the first bit in group of three, read, write, execute, is for user. The second group, read, write, execute, is for group and members of the group. And the third group, read and execute, is for others. Then I said others are not represented here because others is like a general. It could be anybody. And who are those that are in the other group? They are those that are not members of this Ubuntu group, and that is not also Ubuntu user. Okay, that's others as far as this file is concerned. Okay, and then I also showed us how to modify permission. Okay, can we cd into black list? Okay, so let me clear. I remember I gave us an assignment as regards clear. Did anybody attempt it? Did anybody try to check out how to permanently create alias? Nobody. Okay. Uh, I hope I remember after the class to talk about it. Let's move on. CD into black. Now clear. So if I want to, there is a file here called GMC, if I want to add execute permission for the user, the group, and others for the file GMC, who's going to help us do that? Just give me the command to enter. If I want to add execute permission for users, for group, and others for the GMC file. Is anybody helping us? Okay, does that mean we didn't watch the class video? All right, so let's move on. The command is going to be change modification chmod user group other plus x and the name of the file GMC. Okay, so this is how I showed us in our last class of how to give or how to add permissions for file and folder. Okay, the U is for users, the G is for group, and the O is for others. And then plus X, meaning add execute permission for users, for user rather, for group and other, as far as the GMC file is concerned. Okay, and if I list, if you now look at the GMC file, the three parties now have execute permission. To remove it, you use the subtract or the minus sign. And then if you list, it is back to what it was. Okay, you can decide to do it collectively like that, or you do it one after the other. If you look at the folder called Lagos, the Lagos folder, I can decide to say, okay, so I want to remove uh, write permission for user and group so that both will have the same permission as others. Because currently, if you look at the Lagos folder, others do not have the right permission. To do that, I'll say chmod. Chmod means change modification. I told us in the other class. I'll say user and group, remove right permission for Lagos. Okay. And if you list, now you have for Lagos, the user and the group right permission revoked. Okay. However, the method is inadequate if you intend to do different, if you intend to remove or add different permission for the three parties in one line of command. Okay, so if I intend to say for the password file, let the user have read and write. Let the group, members of the group have read and execute, and let the others have read only permission. I will not be able to do that in one line of command. Okay, and that's what now takes us to using numerical representation. So uh, let me get the whiteboard. Okay, so while the whiteboard is loading, if you have any question, please go ahead and ask. Will there be any question? Okay, the whiteboard is coming up. Okay, I think I already have it here, but let me just, okay, that was for the group B when I was explaining the numerical representation for them. All right, so let's look at what I represent here. Read, write, execute. Are you with me, please? Let me be sure you're seeing what I'm sharing.
I'm not seeing what you're sharing.
All right, thank you. Read, write, execute. R for read and W for write. I remember I shared with us what each of these mean at different levels. What read mean at the file level and what it means at the folder level. This is execute. Right. So this is how we derive the number. Simple binary. Okay. Then you write, read, write, execute. I just want to show you how the number is derived. Okay. Then 0 to the power of 0 to the power of 1 to the power of 2 here. And 2 to the power of 0 is 1. Okay. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. 2 to the power of 1 is 2. Anything to the power of 1 is that thing. Okay. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So we say A to the power of 0 is 1. B to the power of 0 is 1. X to the power of 0 is 1. Okay. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Okay. Now, A to the power of 1 is A. Anything to the power of 1 is that thing. Okay. X to the power of 1 is X. That's what we're doing here. Now, 2 to the power of 2 is 4. We are seeing 2 to the power of 2 is 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay. So this is the number that represents read, write, execute. Okay. Let's write it again now. Read, write. I'm not writing that properly. Read, write, execute. So we have 4, 2, 1. All right. So you are saying, do you want to meet yourself? I can hear the call. We are saying read. Let's list it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. So 1 here represents what from what you're seeing on your screen? What does 1 represent here? Where's everybody? Are you following? Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So from your screen, what do you see 1 represent?
X.
X,
Okay. So what is X?
execute,
Good. How about 2?
Right.
right,
All right. What else do you see? You see 4, right? What does 4 represent?
read,
Read. Okay. So 3 is 2 and 1, isn't it? Or 1 and 2. But in this order, 2 plus 1 is 3. So what does 3 represent?
Can we say write and execute?
Yeah. Write and execute. 2 and 1. What will now 5? Using that same approach, what does 5 represent?
Read and execute.
Okay. What does 6 represent?
You wrote read and write.
Sorry. Sorry. 4 plus 1, read and execute. Okay. And what does 6 represent?
Read and write.
Read and write. And what does 7 represent?
Read,
Read,
write,
write,
execute.
Read, write, execute. That's it. Okay. So if I want to do for a file and I say chmod 7 5 4 for GMC file. Okay, so if this is 754, we said that the first party is for who? Users, followed by the group, followed by
Others.
others. So what does this permission mean? It means for users, no users, please. For user, as far as this GMC file is concerned, user we have what permission? Read, write, execute. That's 7. Group we have what is 5? Read and execute. Why others we have what's 4? Read only permission. Does it make sense to you? So 754 means user have read, write, execute, other have read and execute. Sorry, group have read and execute, while other have read only permission. Does it make any sense to you? Do you understand what we just explained? Is there anyone who is lost? Okay, so if there's nobody, let's go and look at how that works. Let me show you something quickly. Can you see my console?
Yes.
All right. So let me click on one of the console. So one of our running servers. And if I attempt to connect, we've been here separately. Okay, so if I click connect here, we're going to connect from this console to the backend. But I want to show you one other way we can do it using SSH client. Okay, for those that are using MacBook, you can use your MacBook terminal to SSH into your cloud server. And this is the instruction here. Okay, but look at the third item, chmod 400, the key pair. Okay, if time permits us, I'm going to show us this when we get into SSH. What do you think this 400 means here? That's what I want to show you here. This is not even DevOps. This is just cloud server administration, and they're already showing you. So what does this 400 here mean? From what I showed you, you may not know what 0 means, but you know what for means, right? So what is for? What does for represent?
Read.
Read. Okay.
Then
Then
what?
00 means nothing. So explain what this means now. Okay, you know, for is for read. Read for who?
Is to make
Can we say read for
to
others?
No. Oh, that doesn't start first. What starts first?
User.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Read
So
for
what
user.
what's the sequence after user is what?
Group.
Then after group?
Other.
Good. So it means that as far as this key pair is concerned, only the user have read what? Read permission over this key pair. This is not a key pair self. It is actually a key pair, but this is one. Okay, this is a key pair. Let me not confuse you. Okay? But this is the private key file of the pair. A pair means two. Okay. So it says for this key file, let user have read-only permission, while group and others does not have any permission at all, not even nothing. This is what it means. Okay. I already know what that means. Run this command to ensure your key is not publicly what? Viewable. That's why only the user is allowed to what? This permission does not even give the user access to edit it, which is write, or even treat it as an executable file, which is X. Is only to be able to what? To read this file. All right. So if you come here and we clear screen, let's list, look at GMC file. So if I run chmod 400 GMC and I list, do you see for GMC now? It's saying let the user have read-only permission and let group and others do not have any permission at all. Okay. Look at Jerusalem folder. I can say change modification. I want user to have read and write permission. That is 4 plus 2, 6. And I want group to have read and execute. That is 4 plus 1. That's 5. And I want other to have read only. That is 4. For which? Jerusalem. And if I list, look at Jerusalem now. Read, write for user. Read and execute for other and read only. Is it clear? Any question? Any question, anyone? So it's clear, right? Okay, so let us then look for understanding. Let's see for the password file. Let's give the password file user read and execute, other execute and write, and group execute and write, and other read only. Who's going to give us the value for that permission sequence? User is read and write, read and execute for user, group execute and write, other read only for the password file. So if you understand what we've been doing since, what will be the value for what I just said now?
Please, can you share your whiteboard screen again?
Okay.
That's
You
what
can
it is.
just
5.
you can just write it down. Read, write, execute 421. Under read, put 4. Under write, put 2. Under execute, put 1. That's the value. 421. Read, write, execute.
So can you repeat the question now?
All right. So for users, why do I keep pluralizing it? For user, read and execute. For group, execute and write. And for other, read only.
Six, 5. No.
You said?
6. No, you start from Chi mode.
Okay. Gmode, yeah.
6,
6,
5,
5. Is that all?
no. I'm taking the last
User, read and execute. Others, user, read and execute. Group, execute and write. And other, read only.
654.
654. For what are we doing it for? Password.
Okay.
Okay. If we list, is that correct? No. See what we have. For user, read and write. For group, read and execute. And for other, read only. It's only read other that is correct, read only.
Okay, I think 534.
Beautiful. 5, 3, 4. Okay. So now we have user read and execute. Other, I intentionally switch it. Execute and write. Rather than execute, will give you the same value when you sum the numbers together. All right, and that is 3. Then others read only. Okay, let us attempt another one. Look at the Tesla file. Can we give the user read, write, execute? And let's give the group execute and write, and let's give other write and read. Okay, I say it again. For Tesla file, let's give user read, write, execute. Let's give group execute and write. And let's give other execute and read. So what will the number be?
756.
756. That's not correct. User read, write, execute, that's correct. Then group. So let's give them execute and write.
So
And then
73.
other execute and read.
Hmm.
73 what?
Oh, no. 755.
735.
7 what?
735.
735.
735. That's correct. Okay. Probably need to show you the whiteboard again. So you can see these values. Okay, do you see this? Read, write, execute. 4, 2, 1. Okay, if you want to bother yourself about how we get these numbers, then leave these first two rows and focus on the last row. Just know that read, write, execute is 4, 2, 1. Okay, so if I say give read and write permission, that means you sum 4 and 2, which is 6. If I say give write and read permission, it's still the same thing. You still sum 2 and 4, that's 6. Okay, so if I say give read and execute permission, you sum 4 and 1, it's 5. If I say give execute and read permission, it's still the same 1 and 4, which is 5. Give write and execute permission 2 and 1, 3, or give execute and write permission is still 1 and 2, 3. So however the order of submission gives you the same number. Okay, so from here now, what do you think? What do you think 163 will do for us? If I say cheat mode 163, what does that permission represent?
It means users will have only execute, and
That's
the
correct.
group will have write and read permission, and
No,
others will.
no,
Four,
user is
one,
correct. 163.
163. 6. Yes.
One, oh,
6,
sorry. I
3.
should be using pen and not marker. 163. User group order.
Yeah, group is 4 plus 2. That's read and write.
Mm-hmm.
Then others is 2 plus 1. That's write and execute.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so what will 740? Can someone else attempt 740? What will you do?
Okay.
So for 7, user will be read, write, execute.
Correct.
Group will be read only,
Correct.
and 0 will be nothing. For
0 is
the
nothing,
others.
yes.
For others.
That means others does not have any
Yeah.
permission. Okay. And this could be for file or folder. All right. Does it make any sense? Are we clear now? Can we move on?
Yes.
So what I understand is easier to get it when you like just write out the RWX table and just write it.
Yes. So
Write
just
out
do
the 421.
RWX and then keep 421 under. That way, you're able to quickly do the summation. All right. Let's get into learning. Okay. Now let's talk about ownership. How many? Yeah. How many users do we have? So I want to see all the users on this server. What's the name of the file that I'm going to view? Who remembers the name of the file? Password. Okay, so on this server I have EC2, I have Cletus, I have Monkey. Okay. Can we clear? So if I want to change ownership of files and folders, okay, I want to change the user that owns a file, or I want to change the group that have access to a file or a folder, is still under file permissions. The command is chown, change ownership. Okay. The new owner, let's do for black folder. Let's say the new owner is going to be Monkey. That's the user. And then the name of the folder or the file, black.
So
Okay.
I want to add something.
Go ahead.
So the chmod is basically modification and it's all
Yes.
about permissions.
Change modification. Which
Yeah,
is
it's all about the permissions.
yes.
What the user can do, what they can, if they can perform. While chown is ownership, who has who is the owner, who it belongs to.
That's correct.
Okay, okay.
All right. So it says changing ownership of black, operation not permitted. So what do we do? What's the word we're going to use? Sudo. Okay. And now if we check, look at black folder, it is now owned by the user monkey. Okay. Now we say that as far as the folder black is concerned, the user have read, write, and execute permission. Okay. Why group have read, write, execute permission, and others have read and execute permission. Okay. If I change the permission of black to 400 black, says no, I should have used chmod. I'm changing the permission. Okay, it says operation not permitted. Let's use sudo. Okay, I don't want to complicate things, but let me just say it. When we were doing chmod, we did not need sudo. It is what a regular user can do. Why? Because at that point, the user that was trying to change the permission is the current signed-in user. What I'm saying is, within this place, when we are doing all this command, chmod, password, okay, chmod, you notice that you are not using sudo here. Do you notice? Okay, but at this point, when I wanted to change chmod for black, it said operation not permitted. I had to use sudo before it could allow me. But here, I was allowed to change permission without sudo. Do you know why? The reason is because at this point, it is this user that owns the password file. Look at password. See the owner. Okay. What else? Still password. See Jerusalem. This is the user signed in, trying to change permission for Jerusalem. And who's the owner? The same user. Okay. But here, I have changed the ownership of black folder to what? Who is the current owner of black folder? Look at it. Who owns black folder from what you're seeing on your screen? What's
Monkey.
happening? The class is slow today. What's
Monkey.
happening? Yeah. Monkey owns black folder, right? And at this point, who was trying to change the permission for the black folder?
EC2 user.
EC2 user. So you see why it did not allow the changing. Because as at the time we were trying to change the permission for black folder, the owner of the folder has changed from the signed in owner here to monkey. Now I had to use what? Sudo. Okay. So if I say cd black, I cannot cd into black. Remember, I was telling you earlier that from this class we begin to go into deeper things. Okay. And this is where some of us will now be making our decision if I want to go into this aspect of tech or not. It requires patience and then some bit of cleverness. Okay. Do you see the folder black? What's the permission on that folder? Anybody wants to tell us what the permission is on black folder?
What's the question?
What's the permission on the black folder? There's a folder here and it's called black.
Okay. The user have only the directory. So that's the directory. He has only read permission, then no permission for.
Okay, so the user, who is the owner, have read only, while group and other does not have any access at all. So do you understand when I now said CD black and I was denied access? CD means what? Change directory into black. So why was I denied access now? Is
We
anybody?
don't have the execute permission.
Who? Who is the you that doesn't have execute permission?
The user the user does not have the permission to execute that command.
Which user?
The monkey.
No.
He did back.
Okay. So what do I tell us about this shell prompt? I told us that this shell prompt means the current signed-in user is who? Who is the current signed-in user?
EC2
EC2 user.
user.
So it means whatever I do now is being owned by who? Any process now, something that did not use sudo is owned by who?
EC2 user.
EC2 user. Okay. So if I try to cd into black folder, who is trying to change directory into black folder? If I try to execute this command, who is trying to execute to get this command done? Which user?
EC2 user.
Good. Because this is the signed-in user. So if this is the user trying to get this command done, cd into black, and it's denied, it means that EC2 user does not have access to what? Change directory into this black folder.
Folder. Yeah.
And do you know why? Because this black folder is owned by Monkey. And the permission on the black folder is that let the owner, which is Monkey, only be able to what? Read. Okay. As far as this black folder is concerned, this user here belongs to where? Group. Do you see it? And group for this black folder does not have any permission at all over this black folder. Okay. It can get complicated. I can say sudo change ownership. No, change group. I'm not changing the owner now. I'm changing the group. Change group. Monkey. Then the name of the file. black. So I've also changed the group that have access to black folder to the monkey group. Don't make any mistake about it. I've repeated this severally, that this column here is for group. This column here is for users. And you should remember that there is a user called monkey, and there's also a group called what? Monkey. And I've told us separately that the moment you create a user, you also created the primary group for that user, which bears the same name as the user, and the home directory for that user that bears the same name as the user. Okay. So as far as this black folder is this black folder is concerned, which identity does EC2 user belong to? Does it belong to user, or belongs to group member, or belongs to other? Are we together? Do you understand what I'm trying to ask at all?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you see the black folder? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so the black folder, where will you place EC2 user? Will you place EC2 user under the owner, the user, or you place it as member of the group or as other?
Maybe user, not sure though.
Maybe user.
Mhm.
There's no maybe in program in IT. Okay. Did anybody understand what I'm trying to ask?
You're asking where do we place EC2 user in black, in this folder black, right?
So
It will be
the
in
permission on a folder on a file could be that it is user, group, or others,
order,
UGO,
right?
right? So I'm now saying for black folder now, where does EC2 user belong?
It will be user
No,
because the group and order, they don't have any permission.
I'm not asking for permission. I'm asking which identity do they have? Look at black folder. Who is the owner of black folder? The user.
It's monkey.
It's monkey. Why is it difficult for us to grab this?
Mm.
It's not difficult. It's right on your screen. Can you have monkey here and then say it is EC2 user again? So the only thing you might really not understand is I've not shown you members of this monkey group. If EC2 user belongs, is member or not. But from where what you're saying, it's very obvious that the user that have access to black here is monkey. This column is for users. The next column is for group. So the first thing, looking at black folder, two things you can say. One, you are not sure. The other, you are very sure that EC2 user is not the user, which that means he's not the owner of black folder. Because from here, it is only what? Monkey. You can have two users, but when we get there, I'll show you. Okay. Now, the group, monkey group, until you go view the group, That's when you can know if EC2 user is a member of the group or not. Okay. And then other, which we don't see. So let's say EC2 user, this user here, is not a member of the monkey group. Then where will you now classify EC2 user as far as the black folder is concerned? Others. Does it make sense? Hello? So where will you categorize, where will you classify EC2 user? Let's say EC2 user is not a member of the monkey group for black folder. Where are we going to classify EC2? Hello? Okay. I'll leave us to watch class video. Let's move on. Can we? Okay, so let's do some reset here. So I've shown us how to change ownership. Can we return the ownership of black to EC2 user? Sudo chown, the name of the user, EC2 user, and the name of the folder black. Okay. If we list, can we also change the group that owns it? Sudo chown. No, it won't be chown now. It's going to be grp, the name of the group. Okay, the name of the group I want, we are changing to, it is also EC2 user, and the name of the file or folder. See that? It's been changed. If you look at etc.back, the current owner is root, and the current group that have access to it is also root. Can we return it to EC2 user? We say we have to use sudo because the current owner, which is root, is not the current signed-in user. So we say sudo change ownership to EC2 user for etc.back. That's it. And then we also say sudo change group for EC2 user etc.back. If we list, that's it. It's been changed. If we also look at, there's a file there, apple.txt, apple.txt. It is currently owned by root, and also the access, it can be accessed by group, root group as well. Let's change both to, I think we have Cletus user on this server. Okay, so now you can do all of that in one line instead of changing it one after the other. Okay, what I've shown us is to change owner and to change group, GRP. But what if we want to change it all at once? Okay, it's going to be sudo chown, change ownership, flag capital R, meaning change recursive everything. What user? So let's change to Cletus, column What group? Let's use Mango group. So you don't think it must be the same user, same group. The name of the file, apple.txt. Okay. Invalid group. Sorry, we do not have Mango group. It was a monkey group that we have. And if we list, now you see that there is lettuce and there is monkey. Okay. So let us attempt a simple class work I told us about in our last class. Okay. Let's say we've been asked to create a file for copy row file, and the access to the file should be limited to HR of the company only, or HR department members. So what do we do? First, we create a group and call it HR. So we say sudo group add HR. Since it already exists, good. So can we check? We're going to cut the group. Okay, this is it. So EC2 user is a member of the group. Let's also add monkey. No, let's add just clear tools. Clear. Okay. Let's say EC2 user tools are the only HR officers within the organization. So we say sudo user, the command to add a member to the group, user modified user mode flag AG, the name of the group HR, the name of the user lettuce. That's it. So if I run groups lettuce, I'm going to see all the groups that lettuce belong to. So from here, lettuce user belongs to the lettuce group and the HR group. And I explained to us that the first group you see that a user belongs to is the primary group of that user. Okay. And it's the reason why we are using flag AG here. Flag lowercase a, uppercase G, saying that do not displace the primary group of this user. Add whatever group is here as a secondary group. Okay. There's also a group called marketing. I saw it. I can also come here to say add clear tools to the marketing group. As long as I pin this flag AG, whatever group I'm adding clear tools to will be secondary groups to clear tools. The primary group of clear tools will not be displayed. So if I do that and I run again, groups clear tools, look at it. So you see that clear tools has not been displaced as the primary group. So let's clear screen. Then let's touch a file and call it payroll.txt. If I clear, then that's not clear yet. If I list, so there's payroll.txt. The user is EC2 user, and the group access is EC2 user. However, we want group access to be payroll. So what do? We change group owner. So we say sudo change grp HR, the name of the file, payroll.txt. If we list, you now see that EC2 user who is also a member of the HR, and then HR group. So all members of this group access this. But look at it. What permission do they have? The user have read-write permission. HR have read-write permission. Other have read-only. Okay. We do not want other to access it. Okay. So what do? We remove the permission of others. So we say sudo chmod other minus R for payroll. And if I list, you see that others do not have access. So only this user and only member of the HR group can have access to this file. Okay. Can we return for other plus R? Okay. If we want to use numerical value, numbers, to get that done, okay, what is it going to look like? Let's look at it together. For payroll, read and write is what? 6. That's for the user, HR. For EC2 user. For the group HR, just read and write 6. And we do not want others to have access. It's going to be 0. That's 660. And if we list, see what we arrive at. Okay. So that's that for file ownership. Let's do one more before we go for break. And let's take our break now. When we return, we come and look at file access and control list. FACL. All right, let's take 10 minutes break now. And all right, let's move on. Would there be any question from what we've learned so far? Permissions, using numbers, changing ownership for users and group. Is there any question? All right, so let's proceed. We can also have what we call FACL, file access control list. Okay, so here, rather than change the user or group ownership outrightly, we can append ownership. We can add to ownership. Let's take, for instance, look at the black folder. Oh, the black folder is still on read only. Can we change that? Cheat mode, let's change to read and write 664. Okay, good. So we have many users on this server. Get entry password. We have specifically Cletus and Monkey. So rather than say, let's change the owner of the folder black to Cletus, So that we now displace the initial owner, we can say, let Cletus be a co-owner of the folder or of the file. And how do we do that? Let me show you quickly. So the command to see, although you can see it in your screen right now, the command to see the owner of the black folder is get FACL, the name, get FACL, meaning get file access control list. So it tells us that black file, the owner is EC2 user and the group is also EC2 user. And the permission the owner have is read and write. The permission group have is read and write. And the permission other have is read only. Okay. So we are saying instead of changing the owner, we can set it such that another user can co-own a file. And how do we do that? We say set FACL, set file access control list, space flag app. There means make. U is for what?
User.
Thank you. So U for user, followed by column, the name of the user we want to make a co-owner, monkey, followed by what permission do we want monkey to have, read, write. Let's give it that, okay, followed by the name of the either file or folder. Okay, and that's it. If we list, if you look at the black folder, it now has a plus icon here. The plus means that there are other owners. But how do we now expand this plus? We run get FACL black. So get FACL back says that original owner EC2 user, another owner here, monkey with read and write permission. So now for black folder, the monkey user is now a co-owner. How will you know from here this plus sign sits off? Okay, can we do that for a group as well? Still the same command, set FACL, set file access control list. Flag M means make. So the user we change to group. What do we normally use to represent group? G. Okay. We have different group. This time let's try marketing group. And what permission are we giving marketing group? Read, write. Okay, and black. So this permission thing depends on what you want to achieve. So don't think it must always be read, write. It could be read only, it could be write only, it could be execute only, it could be read, write, execute. Depends on the task you have or what you are trying to achieve or what you've been asked to do at the moment. Okay. So now if I run get FACL black, you now see that for group, the marketing group now also have co-access to the black folder. And members of the marketing group, they all have read and write permission over the black folder. Okay. So what if we want to remove this co-ownership thing? You come here, we change this flag M, which is make, to flag X. Okay. The flag X is to remove. And if we are removing the co-ownership, either for user or group, it does not matter what permission they have. We are removing it. So you don't need to specify permission again. Okay. And then if we run get FACL, see that we no longer have marketing here. The same thing for this. If you're removing the permission of monkey as a co-owner, we change this flag M to X, just to cut. And since we are removing it, it does not matter what permission it has. Take it out as well. All right. And again, if we run get FACL black, you see that we no longer have co-ownership. All right. So depending on what you are trying to get done on the server, you can decide to change ownership outrightly, or you can decide to say you want to have co-ownership. Okay. You can have 2, 3, 4, like that. So you want to know more about FACL, run manual FAC. There's no entry. How about get FACL? Good. Access control list. And if you scroll down, you will see flag A, display access control list. Display the default access control list. Let's see the ones we've used. For flag M, okay, this is it get? Okay, so this is get. Let's go look for set. Quit. I told you about this MAN manual to set access control list. I think I saw it now. Revoking right access from all groups and unnamed users. Set FACL flag M RX, the name of the file. Okay. Removing a named group entry X. This is for group. The name of the group is staff. The name of it is file. Okay. Copying the access control list of one file to another. So it says get FACL, the name of the file, followed by pipe. I told us what this operand pipe does. It's not the same thing as double ampersand. Okay. When you see operand pipe like this, it means that what you have on the right-hand side, perform or execute this command on the output of the command on the left-hand side. If it were to be double ampersand, it says perform this, when you are done, perform this. But pipe here means that execute this command on the output of this. So it means when you execute this, the output of this command, then do this command on that output. That's it. Okay. And don't forget, this will work when the two files are in the same directory. Otherwise, you need to specify the full path of one of the file. Okay, so let's quit and let's clear the screen. So we've seen how to get file access control lists, and we've also seen how to set access control lists. Okay. I think it's a good place to stop. There's no need to rush the class, especially with our assimilation level. I don't want us to rush, so that you can go back and watch class videos. When we come to class on Wednesday, we'll look at packages, the different things under packages. First, how you can compress, decompress, how you can zip files together. Remember, if you need to send 4 files, if you need to attach 4 files to an email, what do? Just so that you will attach 1 file instead of 4 files. You first zip the 4 files together so that they become one zipped file. Then you now attach one zipped file to your email. Okay, which makes it easy to undo. In fact, to even do a collective backup. So how we do that in Linux, we're going to look at that in our next class, and how we can use the yum and apt command, and how you install packages and configure common services. In your Windows operating system, you need to install something. You either go to Google or you go to Windows Store, right? Just as when we wanted to install Temios, we went to Google. So how do we do installation on Linux? We'll look at all of that under packages when we come to class on Wednesday, right? I think it's good that we stop here so that we don't overflog things. Any question, please? Do you have?
Where will the class videos be sent?
Oh, so there's a playlist for Group A. Are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Okay, so it will be reposted. It will be reposted on the WhatsApp group for everyone to see. There are 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Both group have their own respective playlist. So all videos will be on the playlist. Any other question? All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you on Wednesday. And if you have any question while you're practicing, put it on the WhatsApp group, and then we can iron it out from there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.